Hello everyone and welcome to a game between RichApm and Satiini. This game taking place here on Northern Isles. I believe this is just a gameplay, nothing too strange or out of the ordinary in this Night Elf vs Undead matchup. Easy to tell that you should focus on the more important things, but you're casting alone, so it won't catch everything anyways. That is true. Thanks Tricks Factory for the kind words. As we're looking at, well, Satiini, legendary Night Elf Pro, wink wink, RichApm Night Elf, well, Night Elf versus Undead, and I feel like Night Elf has so many tools to go up against Undead. Mana Burn being one of those very powerful weapons to be able to shut down the enemy heroes. Also having access to Dryads to deal with destroyers. Having an anti-air magic immune unit, always so very useful. He was like really good back in the day. But try it. All right. You gave a wink wink. And that is why you need those back to WarCraft thingy. And if you only single cast, what back to WarCraft thingy?
Your building is complete.
Well, I will say back to WarCraft has invested a lot into a very powerful overlay, and it gives so much information, and it's a shame that, well, it isn't already built into WarCraft 3. The HUD observer tool or something? You mean their overlay? Yeah, their overlay actually used by ESL. Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons why ESL uses back to WarCraft, because it must be in their contract, because that tool is just so useful, keeps track of production as well, and all of those things. Building a very good overlay off of the API, just incredibly important, as the Keeper of the Grove now makes its way across your Ogre Magi, Ancient of War, absorbing a bit of damage on this 5-4-4 creep camp. Northern Isle, well, perhaps one of the best maps out there, as we're looking into the Keeper of the Grove, picking up a potion of greater mana. Death Knight now out onto the battle. Well, where is that?
Our sacred grove is
Where is that Death Knight? Well, how come am I just missing the Death Knight? Oh, down over here. All right. Blue Death Knight, Unholy Aura first. Going to clear off this Ice Troll creep camp. I was looking for blue on Northern Isle. Always a little bit difficult to keep track and spot. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove going to clear out this Flesh Eater creep camp as well. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 2. Well, making its rounds. NI best map confirmed. All right, yeah. All right, I'm gonna slow down my casting. I didn't have coffee this morning, and well, it is an hour earlier than normal. Keeper of the Grove gonna just try and, well, make sure that RichApm is actually investing quite a bit in order to set up this expansion. We are looking at Blight being thrown down here, and the Ziggurat is already down. Now, oh, what is this? A Moonwell being built right next to it right here. Are we gonna perhaps see a canceling of this Moonwell, and then perhaps a follow-up detonation? Oh, Wisp actually gets taken down, does detonate in time, but it doesn't clear up that much of that Blight. Keeper of the Grove trying to put pressure back onto those onto the ghouls here. Ghoul gonna end up getting denied, no, experience given right there. It looks as though the Entangle was the one finishing off that unit. Meanwhile, the Death Knight heading back over, gonna go ahead and throw down another Entangle onto a Ghoul, as the Keeper of the Grove trying to get that last bit of experience. No, doesn't get it right there. All right, Moonwell. Well, Moonwell healing is going to be needed. Beautiful denial by Satiini, finishing off his own archer, as, well, we are looking at a couple of skeletal minions just popping up right in front of that Keeper of the Grove, making it difficult for him to retreat back. Without Death Coil, however, Death Knight is just losing a lot of ghouls and a lot more units. Perhaps RichApm wishes that he actually went for Death Coil first. Unholy Aura does help move around the map faster, but saving 2 or 3 of those units could have been a better proposition, as the Keeper of the Grove is getting very close to level 3 here, and that would just cause more problems too. All right, there goes another Entangle trying to finish off more units. Yes, Keeper of the Grove got the last shot off there, gonna get another bit of experience, gets up to level 3, and now will he be able to break free from this bag here? Gets an Entangle down onto the Acolyte. Death Knight does get the Death Coil off to save that Acolyte though, as it looks like the expansion will be able to stick around. archers. Are they going to be able to steal that last bit of experience? Death Knight. Who's going to get the experience? Death Knight does get the experience right there. Archers unable to finish it off, but now going after the Acolytes as we're looking at Rich still trying to set up this expansion down here. All right, we're looking at Ancient of War. We are looking at Ancient of Wonders. Tier 2 nearly done. Hunter's Hall not done as of yet. We should be going into dual Ancients of Lore as the Beastmaster now going to be putting in pressure on the expansion as well. Very fast tech to Tier 2. Archers now going to be pushing their way as the Entangles and the Quill Beast going to be, well, pressuring more damage here. Satiini sitting at 29 supply going up against 27. More units going to be forced to back up here as the Tuskar Trapper are going to get taken down here. Beastmaster doesn't get surrounded, able to break free right there and still gaining a good amount of experience as we're looking at a couple of ghouls trying to make their way back. All right, Ghoul down to 52 hit points, able to back away here once more. Meanwhile, low hit point Ghoul down to 18 hit points. Archer is going to be able to finish it off. No, it will not be able to do that. That Archer perhaps could have gotten in front as we're looking at the Ziggurat now upgrading to a Nerubian Tower. Death Knight heading back off to the north here. Beastmaster not going to be able to get free at all. Acolyte is going to be able to get some repairs before it gets taken down as well. All right, no Staff of Preservation trying to finish off this building here. Beastmaster will end up falling. There it goes. Nerubian Tower nearly done or nearly taken down though. No stopping on that upgrade as the Quill Beast, well, time life, it gets taken out as well. Quill Beast running their way back off to the north. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 3. Death Knight sitting at level 2, getting very close to level 3 as well. Both sides suffering quite a bit of damage here as we're looking at 28 supply compared to 27. All right, new Ziggurat getting thrown in. Thank you for the follow. Keeper of the Grove forcing another cancellation on these Acolytes over and over. And Rich has just wanted to set up an expansion but has not been able to do so easily at all. Is that Acolyte going to end up getting taken down? It gets denied. Rich saying, you know what, if I'm going to lose an Acolyte, I'm going to lose it on my terms, denying that last bit of experience. Beastmaster ready to push on through once more, summoning up a Quill Beast and drinking from those Moonwells to start off this next engagement. 30 supply compared to 30 here. Beastmaster with Quill Beast perhaps going to add up some damage onto those units. Keeper of the Grove has to be very careful though. Does not have a Scroll of Town Portal. There is a Staff of Preservation as Dryads are now joining in on the fight. Keeper of the Grove now making their way through. Beastmaster may try and transfer the Staff of Preservation as the Keeper of the Grove is now retreating back as well. All right, Dryads do have slow poison, trying to perhaps pick off these units one at a time. Another ghoul going to get taken down, and the Dryad focusing on another great micro coming in from Satiini, trying to spread that slow poison across multiple units, and then perhaps getting both of them killed. And RichApm is going to lose another 2 ghouls in this retreat, getting up to level 2 on that Beastmaster. Behind this, we are still at Necropolis. RichApm is in a very tough spot. He does not have any sign of tier 3, and that is going to hurt. He still needs to fully saturate this haunted gold mine in order to do so. Finally taking the tier 3, finally moving an Acolyte out across the map here. Meanwhile, we are nearly at tier 3 by Satiini. Is the economic advantage of RichApm going to be enough, or is the tech advantage of Dryads and Bears and Mountain Giants perhaps going to be too much here? All right, Death Knight stealing a little bit of that experience once more. Beastmaster trying to get to level 3. Mountain Giants are already out on the battlefield, and all they really need to do is just pick up a tree and deal some siege damage, put pressure onto that expansion, and that expansion is going to fall, taking away Rich's main advantage now. All right, Death Knight down to 213 hit points, not enough for an Entangle. Dryad's not going to be able to keep that distance. Staff of Preservation as the units are moving back. 1 Mountain Giant, 1 Dryad, perhaps trying to engage down here. All right, down to the south, ghouls were running inside the base of Satiini. There goes another Entangle. Are we going to get some more damage onto that unit here? Keeper of the Grove should be able to finish off. Oh, 1 Archer going to get taken down, but the last second trade still very, very useful there as that ghoul did get finished off. All right, Necropolis going to get added in here. Nerubian Tower, perhaps a Spirit Tower to be added. 42 supply compared to Rich's 23. Economic
Research note,
advantage
our warriors have
going to be
engaged
coming in
the
as we
enemy.
see an increase in production buildings. We are going into mass schools, perhaps, and then transitioning into gargoyles. And that could be the strategy as we are going into triple crypt by RichApm. All right, what better way
Our
to
warriors have
try and
engaged
get
the
a
enemy.
lead here than just training up massive units,
Research
as the
finished.
Keeper of the Grove does, I believe, have an Orb of Venom. Yes, even though it doesn't show up on the overlay. Orb of Venom and now Mountain Giants. Are we going to be looking at a third hero as we are at Tree of Eternity? Archers are hiding in the back of the base, unable to, well, really venture forth since they would take too much or pretty much just feed experience to Rich
Great outdoors.
until they get into Nightfall and are able to drink from those moonwells.
Our
46
warriors
supply.
have
Are we perhaps
engaged
going to
the
be
enemy.
setting up an expansion here? Keeper of the Grove, double Mountain Giant. What is going on here? Double Mountain Giants just trying to use, perhaps get that Beastmaster to level 3 for level 2 Quill Beast, and now getting an Alchemist as well. So rounding out all of this here, getting an Alchemist. I don't know if I agree with an Alchemist, though, if you are going for Mountain Giants, since you really want to go wide if you have AoE healing. Have AoE healing, um, if you have more like two bears standing next to each other rather than, or four bears standing next to each other rather than two mountain giants standing next to each other, you are effectively using that healing spray at a much higher rate. All right, dryads being able to catch a couple of gargoyles right as they are trying to move on through, unable to get away, as that was a quick snipe down. And now this should be a warning to Satiini to set up ancient protectors inside his base. That was the worst possible route that Satiini could take, or excuse me, that RichApm could take to try and put pressure on gargoyles, as he loses a gargoyle and also, well, triggers his opponent to try to set up some natural base defense. Wisps are already retreating back.
Research
Natural
finished.
regeneration at night fairly fast. We are looking at a
Our
couple or
warriors
one
have
ancient
engaged the
protector isn't
sacred
going to be
grove is being
constructed in
desecrated.
time, are only at 40 or 400 hit points, as the gargoyles should try and make their way back here. Oh, a Beastmaster now with an Orb of Venom. Quill Beast also here putting in pressure. Wisp, is it going to heal up? Yes, it is. So Beastmaster and Quill Beast trying to protect all of these units, as an ancient protector here is going to be completed. Meanwhile, back over here to the top left, Alchemist getting a lot of experience as well. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 4. Alchemist with Devotion Aura and a Hood of Cunning and a Pendant of Energy. Death Knight still the lone hero at this stage in the game. Lich has just now been trained as we are teching to tier 3. Economic advantage by Rich
Our
fully
warriors have
underway now.
engaged the
That
enemy.
expansion has mined up a lot, but behind this, Satiini does have some
Research
very
finished.
high level heroes. Deathquell trying to finish off an archer here. No easy healing at all. Well, Mountain Giant or Alchemist could go for some easy healing, but we haven't seen any of that as of yet. Deathcoil to finish off an archer right there, but using 2 death coils to kill an archer, was it really
Your
worth it?
building is complete. Our sacred
So
grove is
far,
being
Orb of
desecrated.
Venom on the Beastmaster, Orb of Venom on the Keeper of the Grove. We could perhaps be looking at an Orb of Venom eventually on the Alchemist as well. And with that, that Orb of Venom damage does stack up pretty quickly. The fact that the Alchemist is also, well, 34 to 61 damage, that's almost Blade Master type of auto attack damage there.
Our
Adding in
warriors have
Chemical Rage,
engaged the enemy.
and that damage adds up very, very quickly, as we're looking at, well, the gargoyles trying to see where they can perhaps run off to. All right. Are we going into Acid Bomb? Yes, level 2 Acid Bomb, perhaps to try and catch those gargoyles. Gargoyles hiding off to the north with no real problem. A couple of Trents trying to hide locations here. This expansion has about, what, 11 minutes of mining left here, as the gargoyles are just going to continue this harassment game. And it's going to turn into a game of heroes. Beastmaster, Keeper of the Grove, Alchemist 433 going up against a level 3, level 1. But with only one mountain giant, two mountain giants, unless they start picking up and start dealing siege damage to the spirit towers, it's not going to really matter all that much. All right, there you go, getting a little bit of that extra range, should be able to engage, take down those spirit towers, and that little bit of extra damage. Gargoyles coming back across to try to find those dryads here. Alchemist could easily get off some acid bomb, and that damage over time from that orb of venom really going to add up as well. All three heroes have the ability to attack air. Alchemist naturally has it, Keeper of the Grove naturally has it, Orb of Venom on the Beastmaster, gonna round that out, but no AoE damage onto those gargoyles, and those gargoyles, well, would really just get blown away by a breath of fire. All right, yeah, a really strange game so far. Well, not full saturation on the expansion, so more acolytes need to be transitioned over. Here, meanwhile, what is going? Well, doing still more creeping. Keeper of the Grove is gonna get to level 5. Is he gonna try to go for level 3 Entangle or level 3? Oh no, doesn't get to level 5 there. Just a little bit shy. There is a little bit more damage adding on through, and may be able to get us around. Keeper of the Grove and more units in the front. Scroll of Town Portal quickly trying to retreat back. We're gonna see a Quill Beast get taken out here. No, Scroll of Town Portal teleporting just to the other side of this necropolis and back on Blight. All right, Satiini. I don't know if Satiini is respecting the expansion nearly too much, or if Satiini is expecting that, or I can't even speak straight. If Satiini is respecting that expansion is giving such an economic fuel. And well, Satiini looks like he's just holding back, expecting the heroes to be able to do enough. But we know how powerful undead heroes are and become. Orb of Venom damage is going to really rip through that Magnetar Reaver there, as we see a Cloak of Flames picked up by that Beastmaster. Keeper of the Grove was nearby, though, so he did take some of that experience away from the Alchemist and that Beastmaster. All right, Ancient of War off over here. Tree of Life may set up a ninja expansion over there to the bottom right, and perhaps he's hoping by setting up a ninja expansion, he will be able to catch his opponent off guard. All right, Alchemist and Beastmaster coming back over to gain a little bit more experience. There is a... Yeah, that is a squadron of gargoyles. Just mass gargoyles off of 3 crypts, and now ghouls are adding in as well. Mountain Giant's going to have a difficult time against the frenzied ghouls. Meanwhile, we're looking at a little bit of damage. Slow poison coming back across here. Are we going to see some taunts from those Mountain Giants to absorb some of that damage? Dryad after Dryad falling very quickly, as we see a Scroll of the Beast being used as well. That's going to be big damage across those gargoyles, as we see Scroll of Healing also being used in this engagement. Dryads, if they try to abolish magic, they're not dealing damage back against those units. 68 supply compared to 54, as Dryad after Dryad is falling, almost like reaching critical mass onto those Dryads, or onto those gargoyles to finish off those Dryads. Meanwhile, the heroes engaging Beastmaster has fallen at level 3. Death Knight is able to get away down to 33 hit points, needs to get back on Blight. Orb of Venom nearly taking down those units. All right. Satiini sitting at 48 supply here. We are going into triple Ancient Protectors at that Tree of Life. There is one Ancient of War off over here. Dryad's going to end up getting cleaned up easily by these gargoyles again. And Satiini, well, doesn't look like he has a real easy way to counter mass gargoyles. Hippogriffs, at this point, at this stage, if you try to transition into mass hippogriffs, you would just end up well, funneling them one at a time into these gargoyles, and the gargoyles would easily win out on this battle. Strange predicament to be in. And once more, the hero overlay is swapped. What the heck? If I... Alright, there we go. Satiini now making its way back down here. All right, Night Elf off over here, Death Knight off over here. I'm constantly just getting confused. Death Coil, Frost Nova onto the Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove trying to back away, taking a lot of damage. And that level 4, level 3 dealing so much damage here. It's Gargoyles finishing off more Dryads. And now continuing the chase again. All right, Keeper of the Grove trying to retreat back. Is going to be able to retreat back. That is such a large army of gargoyles. Is that 25 gargoyles? That might actually be 25 gargoyles here. There are plenty of Ancient Protectors in the bottom right-hand corner. And as we know, Ancient Protectors are normally very good against gargoyles. But then again, when you have this many gargoyles out onto the field, it may not matter. Wisp should really be trying to repair. Didn't do exactly that. And now Satiini has no way to deal with this mass number of gargoyles here. In comes an entangle onto the Lich, and now Acid Bomb. That's the only way to get AoE damage onto these gargoyles, as the Keeper of the Grove and the Beastmaster or the Alchemist should really be trying to find ways to add up damage here. 73 supply compared to 57. A massive army of gargoyles in the air, just working alongside the heroes here. Death Knight with Unholy Aura. That army is just moving around so quickly. Ancient of War uprooted off here. Perhaps we should be getting up another Ancient Protector. Dryads, being offered up here, but the Dryads are pretty much sacrifices to those Gargoyles. Gargoyles with so much damage because of their numbers. And the Alchemist, the Beastmaster really needs to get to level 5 for level 3 Quill Beast, and the Alchemist needs level 5 for level 3 Acid Bomb. Maybe that would change things around with enough Focus Fire. No, Chemical Rage now on the Alchemist as well to try and push back those units even further. And well, this is a strange situation to be in. A couple of creeps are still available on the map. Death Knight and Lich sitting at level 4, level 3. Doesn't look like a third hero will be added in here at all. And it's going to come down to the amount of gold left. Only 5 minutes of mining left and 2 minutes of mining left here. This gold mine by Satiini may turn into a big play, but what is this play by Rich? Rich saying, if you're not going to take your natural expansion, I can do it for you. Gargoyles, ghouls now making their way back down here. Deathquail saving a long-distance gargoyle looking to get into an engagement. Death Knight may actually opt for level 3 Unholy Aura first, as the gargoyles will not benefit from level 3 Death Coil at all. Maybe that Lich, but the faster movement speed and the natural regeneration does make quite a big difference. All right, a little bit of damage there. That was one round of attack, but medium armor able to shake that off rather nicely. All right, that is a lot of Quill Beasts here. Beastmaster needs to really maintain that mana to keep those Quill Beasts up, and that is a lot of piercing damage here. Spirit Towers could cause large amounts of problems, as the Mountain Giant's going to perhaps try and take down this Necropolis and then put in pressure elsewhere. Necropolis doesn't represent all that much, just a Scroll of Town portal location, as this is going to easily get taken down. All right, there's an Acid Bomb. Dryad's going to turn back around. We are looking at a couple of taunts here, absorbing damage from those gargoyles, but the gargoyles quickly switching back to the Dryads, as the ghouls are now, with that frenzy, able to take back over. 75 supply compared to 66, as Staff of Preservation saves the Beastmaster. Death Knight is in trouble, down to 58 hit points, 53. Is it going to be able to escape? It does. No Acid Bomb, getting slowed back up all the way across. No entangle, and the Death Knight somehow keeps alive at the very end. Keeper of the Grove gonna go ahead and try and finish off ghoul after ghoul here as easily as possible. And well, there is another surround onto a Mountain Giant again. Acid Bomb gonna try and finish off the Lich. Death Knight is gonna be able to get a Death Coil off. Lich gets taken down. Mountain Giant just absorbing so much damage, but still able to stay alive here, as the Orbs of Venom were offering up so much damage too. Beastmaster throwing down some Quill Beasts here. Beastmaster also adding in Orb of Venom attack. 54 supply compared to 75, as those units are going to be retreating back here again. Nearly level 5 on that Alchemist here. Level 4 on that Beastmaster. Beastmaster was resurrected and then sent back home. And to heal up and then join back in on the fight. Meanwhile, though, we are looking at that base here, and well, this base coming across by Rich saying, if you don't want your expansion, I'll take it, is well going to represent a problem. All right, let's take a look. Where are the gargoyles perhaps going to be running off to? They don't have any additional healing whatsoever. Acolytes now making their way back off to the north. The Mountain Giants not having that seed damage, but the army is 82 supply compared to 66. Well, quickly dodging high upkeep once again. All right. Unsummoning that gold mine, realizing that it's not really able to do very much of anything. just trying to get back some of that gold as the Acolytes pretty much offered up as sacrifices. 10 minutes of mining left here, 2 minutes of mining left here, no gold mine here, no gold mine here, regardless of what the minimap says, nothing here. Minimap bug always making things very difficult for me as a replay caster. Tree of Eternity has transitioned off over into the center location here, and Satiini moving his base, but no longer having access to those moonwells if he uses a Staff of Preservation. This has been a common problem for Night Elf players. They think that they're going to be moving their unit back to safety, only to realize that by moving that Tree of Eternity, well, there are no moonwells nearby, thereby keeping the unit out of combat longer. RichApm sitting at 76 supply. This gold mine is nearly mined out. Death Knight should be Death Knight with a massive army, massively wide army right here, and double scrolls of healing. Lich should be joining back here as well, and the Lich should be taking a scroll of healing too to try and remove that cooldown from that scroll of healing. This is going to be an important battle, but Satiini doesn't need to engage here. Satiini is now the one running up on more bases, and if he's running up on more bases, well, Rich is going to be forced to try and push the fight to him. All right, Gargoyles making their way over here. Only 2 Ancient Protectors. That could spell problems as we're looking at the Mountain Giants trying to figure out where they want to try and defend. 5/4/4 heroes, Alchemists, well, sitting at level 4. Mountain Giants with 3/2 upgrades alongside those Dryads. Alchemists, 37 to 64 damage, very with an average attack speed, not fast attack speed. That would be scarier indeed. As we're looking at these units, perhaps trying to make their way back over. Orb of Venom on an Alchemist still makes sense, as that Orb of Venom represents so much damage over time. You can see this one Gargoyle taking well, that was only a Dryad slow poison, not an actual slow or an actual poison from that Venom. Ghoul is going to try and engage here. Alchemist, it does have Chemical Rage, so that is where it can get its fast attack speed. Are we going to perhaps try to engage here? There's an Acid Bomb onto a beautifully placed Ghoul, as we see a Quick and Snare. Frost Armor there as we're going to go into engagement. Mountain Giant going to try and fight back. Here we are. There is that fight. Alchemist, Chemical Rage going to try to engage as the Death Knight does get up to level 5 rather quickly. Dryad after Dryad is falling. The Scroll of Healing quickly used to try and keep up all of these Gargoyles after that Acid Bomb, as the Beastmaster is going to retreat back. Beastmaster throwing down a Quill Beast as well, has a Scroll of Healing. Dryads are getting focused down very quickly as the Ghouls are making their way over. Dryad after Dryad falling. 71 supply compared to 69, as the Ancients of Lore are going to be joining in on the battle as well. Staff of Preservation moving the unit away from the fight into the natural expansion, as the Keeper of the Grove and the Beastmaster using those Orbs of Venom to try and take down some of those units. Alchemist getting taken down in that battle, completely surrounded. Dryad now trying to fight back. 1 Ancient Protector in the back as well, representing a little bit more damage still, as we are at 55 supply compared to 67. Rich, is he able to hold on long enough, or is the army of Ghouls and Gargoyles going to be able to surround and take things down? Keeper of the Grove now trying to retreat back, as the Keeper of the Grove could use Tranquility back at home. Is he going to try and do that? Are we going to see Tranquility? Yes, we are. Dryads, Mountain Giants going to all heal up, and this is the turnaround perhaps that is needed, as that, well, Keeper of the Grove under protection, but still gets blasted to death. Level 3 Frost Nova, level 3 Death Coil, taking down that Keeper of the Grove. Mountain Giant in a bit of trouble, trying to run away from Acolytes, as Satiini looks like he may be able to come out ahead here. All right, a couple of Mountain Giants, Moonwells, well, gonna go ahead and land, go back down. What happened to all of the Ghouls? I thought there were Ghouls here, as they're gonna go back up into the air. Low hit point units, Lich continuing to fight. We're looking at more, well, damage just adding up onto those Beastmasters, trying to retreat back, and the Death Knight able to deal so much damage as the Ancient of Wonders trying to fight as well. All right, Stone Form Gargoyles trapping the units, and those Stone Form Gargoyles, well, they do have decent amount of armor, and they're still able to fight and engage here, as the Mountain Giants are actually just kind of stuck in here right now. Coming back around, with no more mining available here. Death Knight chasing after the Beastmaster. Death Knight should be able to finish off the Beastmaster. Unholy Aura and Ghoul Frenzy. Is the Beastmaster going to finish off the unit? Oh, nope. Death Knight finishes off the unit, getting in more experience again. We're looking at Lich, Death Knight wandering around here. Unholy Aura giving additional health to the Lich, but now back on Blight. We're trying to, well, stop this Entangled Gold Mine. Any more mining. Only 5 minutes of mining left by Satiini in this bottom right hand. And we have a game once more as the Alchemist is getting resurrected. And perhaps we will see the Beastmaster behind that. All right, Mountain Giants are falling. Dryads are trying to turn back around, focus down unit after unit, getting some damage onto that Lich. That Lich suffering a little bit of damage, but the Dryads really don't have any chance of finishing off that Lich right there, as another Dryad going to get taken out again. Keeper of the Grove is sitting at level 6. Orb of Venom damage onto that Death Knight. Acolytes trying to finish off the Mountain Giant. Keeper of the Grove trying to finish off gargoyles, and this is a strange game indeed. 54 supply, and Rich is now down to 26 supply army compared to 34. There is still workers for Satiini. That's the reason why he has more, as the Death Knight could get taken down. Death Knight falls at level 6. Alchemist is now out here onto the battlefield as the Lich takes more damage. Keeper of the Grove does have an anti-magic potion, is going to be absorbing more damage, and perhaps going to try and drink from those Moonwells, and those Moonwells do look fairly good right now, getting in some damage, turning back around. We should be looking at one dead Gargoyle. Satiini takes the game after the Death Knight falls. The fact that Satiini was still mining gold was the main difference at the end. Great game back and forth. I thought Satiini wasn't respecting Rich's expansions enough. Rich did exactly what I thought he was going to do: build up a very large army and do an incredible push back onto Satiini. I thought things were over for Satiini once he had lost his Keeper of the Grove and then lost his Alchemist, only to have it turn back around. And the gargoyles, they are scary in mass, but they are very weak once those numbers start to dwindle. And that's exactly what happened there. The Keeper of the Grove and the Alchemist were able to start dwindling the numbers, and Dryads with their slow poison able to start picking off those gargoyles, and that was it. All right. Undead could take, well, undead saying undead could win. He didn't have, he wasn't getting gold anymore. So yeah, that was pretty much the end of the game there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Yeah, no destroyers, but destroyers would have been, what would the destroyers would have been able to devour magic, and to stop the entangles, which would have been very much needed. Undead needed Lord with vampiric aura for those gargoyles. No, you don't. Their melee attack is only effective against air. Their ground attack is range. So if their ground attack is range, they're not actually regenerating anything, any hit points. All right, well, that's all I got time for today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.